On this episode, we talk about what to do when you hear that whoop, 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 and you see the red and the blue in your rear view. We're talking about what to do when you get pulled over. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Uber NYC Guide Show, episode 24. I'm your host, Roman Miranda. Today, I want to chat about my favorite topic in the whole world, getting pulled over by the cops. Maybe you've never been pulled over. It's not the funnest thing in the world. Unfortunately, I've gotten pulled over numerous times, 5 of which had no real legitimate reason. I'm gonna say racial profiling because I can, and that's just my belief. Anyway, I'm not gonna really rant about that, and I'm going to begrudgingly hold back a little bit of anger towards the system, but you might get pulled over, and it might be for no reason, or it might be because you're speeding and you're an idiot. So whatever you do, I just want to chat, or whatever the reason you get pulled over, I want to chat about some of the protocols about what to do when you get pulled over. Okay, so if you know you're about to get pulled over, then obviously you want to find a section where it's safe to pull over. Just because a cop has his lights on behind you and is pulling you over does not necessarily mean that you need to pull over in the exact spot that he turned his lights on. It could be unsafe. It could be on the highway where where it's really dangerous for the officer to walk to your car. Maybe there's a really thin shoulder. So be very mindful of where you're actually pulling over. If you can, if you're on the highway and he starts to pull you over, and you're near an exit, get off on the exit ramp and get off of the highway and find like a nearby spot to safely pull over, where there's it's lower speed. These officers are risking their life walking on a highway so close to cars going 65, 75 miles an hour, or even more on the highway sometimes. So be mindful of that. I don't ever want to see a cop get hit by a car. That would scar me for life. So, leave some room, make it safe for them. As you're getting pulled over, throw your hazards on, start to get pulled over. You're obviously going to be buckled, right? Because you buckle your seat belt every time that you drive. You're obviously not going to be speeding because you're a professional driver, right? And you're not speeding. You're obviously not going to be on the phone because you know that as a TLC driver, you're not supposed to be on the phone ever while driving, right? So there's probably just maybe your taillight is out or maybe some other reason. So if that's the case and you're getting pulled over, get your license and registration ready. Roll down your window, maybe even both, or maybe even all 4 if you want, but definitely your driver's side and maybe even the passenger side, because sometimes there will be 2 cops coming. So roll down your window, have your hands in a visible spot. The cops are trained, they know how to walk towards a car, so they're probably going to kind of be, they're going to be cautious, as they should be. They're going to come to the car and they're going to kind of tilt their head and look in, check out the situation, make sure that you don't have a weapon or anything. That's just standard. So it's not that they're like profiling you, that's just like how they need to approach the car, which I think is totally legitimate. So don't think that they're like, well, they're going to think that you have a weapon on you just because it's something to assume. You want to assume the worst and then expect, and then hope for the best. Now, a couple of things to remember. A cop is just the messenger, okay? If you get a ticket from a cop, I feel like there's almost no point in talking to them or arguing with them about the ticket. They are just the messenger. If you want to fight a ticket, then do it through the judicial system, go through the legal system, bring it to court, plead not guilty, do your own thing. Another disclaimer, like my doctor one, I'm also not a lawyer, so do not take any advice from me about law or what you should do about a ticket. I'm not a lawyer. make sure you consult someone who is a professional. I am not a professional. Please don't sue me. I'm not a lawyer. Don't take my advice. Just stop watching the video. Well, no, that would be pointless. But take it with a grain of salt, okay? If the cop gives you a ticket, or let's kind of walk through the process. So you're sitting in the car, you pull over in a safe spot, you have your hazards on. If you don't need to turn the engine off, but put it in park, roll down the front two windows. If you can, quickly get your license and registration ready. If not, if you didn't have time to get your license and registration, and maybe you have your license or registration, if it's in your glove box or in the center console next to you, always tell the officer what you're gonna do before you do it. You don't wanna get shot for no reason, okay? So make sure that you say, that I always say, okay, officer, my registration is in the glove box. Do you mind if I open the glove box to get my registration? Like, say that. And then they're gonna say, yes, go ahead. And then you can slowly open the glove box and give them the and look for the registration and give them the registration. If it's in the center console, officer, my license is in the center console. Do you mind if I open the center console so that I can reach in and get my license? And then you do that. Same thing, and wait for their response. Don't do anything. I don't want you getting shot for no reason. So don't do anything that will give them any suspicion at all. Don't do anything fast. Do everything nice and slow. Make sure they can see everything. They deal with a lot. They don't want to be startled. They want to feel safe. You want to feel safe. So don't do anything rash. Don't get aggressive with cops. It's just not worth your life or going to jail or getting tased. Like, it's not worth it. This is where you got to swallow a lot of pride if you're getting pulled over for no reason for the 5th time, and you just gotta walk through the motions. Yeah, so the cop will ask for license and registration always in the beginning. So you give them that. They may tell you why they pulled you over, or they may not. And then they're gonna go to their car and they're gonna run your plates and they're gonna check your license. Give them your FHV license as well. They're gonna check all that stuff. And then they're gonna either come back with a ticket in their hand, or they might have no ticket in their hand and they're gonna say some bullshit thing like, oh, you blew that stop sign back there, and they give you your stuff back. This is exactly what happened to me the other week. I got pulled over for no reason. I did all of that. They checked all my stuff. They came back to the window. The officer was like, oh, did you want to know why you got pulled over? And I was like, sure. And he's like, well, you blew that stop sign back there. And as he said it, he handed me back all of my papers, and I put them away. I put them down, and I was like, no, I didn't. He was like, oh, you blew through that stop sign back there. What, are you in a rush? I said, no, I didn't. I stopped at every one. And he's like, okay, have a good night. And then he left, and then I left. So sometimes that just happens. Sometimes they just want to check up on you. So yeah. So if that happens, just be like, there's no reason for me to say that I did, because I didn't blow through the stop sign. He just pulled me over for no reason. He was probably just doing a check, and he wanted to come up with some excuse for why he pulled me over, which is whatever. I'm kind of used to that at this point. So it's fine, whatever. So they may give you some excuse, or they may say that you did something, and then, maybe you did blow the stop sign and they're just being nice and they give it back, and then you say, oh yeah, sorry officer, I'll slow down. And then you put on a big old smile, fake ass smile, and then when they drive away, you give them the middle fingers. And that's it. And that's getting pulled over 101. But yeah, that's it. If you ever get a ticket, again, if they print the tickets already and they give it to you, just take the tickets, say, okay, thank you, officer, have a nice day, put them down, scream in the car after they leave, shake the steering wheel, and deal with it in the judicial system through courts. Again, I'm not a legal professional or a lawyer, so consult whoever your lawyers are for legal advice on how to move forward with that. But that's my 2 cents on getting pulled over. I hope it doesn't happen to you. I really hope that they don't just pull you over for no reason, because it's very annoying. But even if that's the case, just don't get upset while they're there. Get upset after they leave. Okay? Be safe out there. Don't be an idiot. don't speed, don't run red lights, don't run stop signs, don't hit people in the crosswalk with your car, don't be an aggressive honker, don't block the box, don't be on the phone while you're driving, buckle up, like do the normal things. You're a professional driver, okay? That's gonna help you avoid a ton of tickets and a ton of points and a ton of money. It's gonna save you by just doing all those things. So be a professional. I only want professional drivers watching this show anyway. So if you don't agree with what I'm saying and you think I'm being a dick, then fine, get off my channel. I don't want you here anyway if you're not a professional driver giving it your all and following the law, okay? So there's no shortcuts, okay? Like I don't want you on my channel. Get off. But for those of you that are still around, you know, you're a professional driver, okay? So work within the system so that you can make that guap, okay? I'm all about that money. You gotta hustle. You're gonna be on the road for a long time if you're trying to make that money. So like, again, think long term, baby, okay? Don't worry about, you know, you can get there going the speed limit. No one's gonna jump in and say, hey, follow that cab, or I need to be there in 5 minutes. Let's go now, pedal to the metal. Like, I'll just cancel the ride and let those people out of the car, you know, because like you don't want to deal with that. You know, be safe. They're not going to be the ones paying your ticket. Remember that. If you get pulled over because some asshole is saying that they're late for a meeting and that you need to speed and blow red lights, then when you get pulled over, it's going to be even slower because now they either have to find another cab or they have to wait 10 minutes while they print out your ticket, and they're not going to pay your ticket. So like screw them, you know? Like if they're going to be like that, then either don't take the fare or just suck it up and get yelled at the entire time and then drop them off and give them 1 star, and you're going to get 1 star, and that's it, and then it's over, you know? And you can chalk it up as a loss, as a bad day, as whatever, but that's it. So, all right, I'm done ranting now. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay classy. I will see you in the next video. That was a weird anticlimactic ending.